or nakumi kamatun ha nakut sa kamatamani kamanli. Uhakan lang mga hanu tuke ha mga sumuli tamani katalit. First of all, my name is Sally Kota. I'm from Kudjak, Quebec, northern Quebec, called Nunavik. I've been here on the island of Tiohtià:ke for the last 7 years. And I just want to be thankful. I want to express my gratitude for having a chance to speak here today. I have some words that I want to share. First off, I want to honor this to my newborn son. He's 15 days old now. He's a little bundle of joy. Atinga, his name, Stilakpe, which means beautiful sky. Thank you for the weather, for clearing up and giving us this great sun, calm winds, and beautiful day. It didn't necessarily start out that way, but here we are now. So going forward, I want to have a thought experiment with each and every one of you. And first off, I want to say, Inuvunga. I am Inuk, I am alive, I am human, I am alive. And that's just to express that within my language, within 4 syllables of saying Inuvunga, I need 16 syllables in a foreign language for everyone to understand me. Now moving on with the thought experiment, I want to ask the settlers of Canada, the settlers of the so-called Canadian state, so-called Canadians, I want to ask you, I want you to count how many generations has your family been on this land. Perhaps you can count on your fingers. Perhaps you can think back and figure out when your ancestors first stepped onto Turtle Island. Let's move on to counting. If you're a first generation stepping into this land and living in this so-called country, you're considered an immigrant by the state. Some rights, not all. If you're a second generation, you're a descendant of the so-called immigrant and become a Canadian citizen under birthright. It's moving forward through 3rd, 4th, and 5th. You are a settler colonizer. Proud immigrants turned proud Canadians. That's just in 5 generations. But settlers have been here for much longer. You can go 6th through 12th. Continuing on with the settler colonizer ideals of terra nullius. Terra nullius, just a piece of paper granted by the Pope with some words saying new land. It's not new. It's much older than all of you, much older than all of us. If you counted on your fingers, how'd I go up to 12? Well, I want to ask you, like a child, count to your toes. Count how many generations have you been here? And if you go up to 20, be it so. And so counting to your toes, looking and using your eyes, looking beneath your feet, I want you to recognize that this land is much older than all of us. In my territory, in my land, in Nunavik, the exposed tundra, the land above the sea, the rivers, the waters, the lakes, known to geologists as some of the oldest exposed piece of land in the world. Ancient. I want you to focus like a child, counting on your fingers and toes, figuring out how many generations you've been here. Either your ancestors have brought yourselves here, or perhaps even you've been brought here by said settlers and colonizers, willfully, unwillfully, with a promise to new land, new opportunities, setting aside the very original indigenous peoples that have been on this land for countless generations. You see, like a child, when you count it on your fingers, I look in my hand and see the very bones beneath my skin. And in my one hand, I can count to 27 bones. With my right arm, I can count to 30 generations back, pre-contact. This can cue up the land acknowledgement, or perhaps even the land back acknowledgement. You see, within our very own bodies, we have 206 bones, head to toe. You can feel it. The very bones are being supported by our Mother Earth, even though if she's covered and blanketed with asphalt and concrete and glass, all man-made things, tear it apart, and you'll see the very exposed land that you have been supported by since time immemorial. Whether you come from lands far away or if you're an indigenous person, we've all been carried by this earth. She has cared for us, as many of the other speakers have shared their knowledge with us. Why we call her a woman, a mother above all. Mother Earth, Father Sky, go hand in hand to take care of us, to make sure that we live and breathe, laugh and cry, and do whatever we wish. Whether it's to disrespect her or him, disrespect ourselves and our brothers and sisters and all our relations, all our kin. How does that make sense? To have disrespect when our mother gave us everything that we've ever needed to survive, for every single person, no matter how numerous we are on this planet. If we had any ounce of intuition to get rid of all these titles, the concept of race, I can look to you and you can look to me and recognize that we are both the same, despite wherever we come from, whichever language we speak, who our mothers and fathers are, and who we are as people today. We can look side to side and see that we have two eyes, mouth, some lungs, and a heart. Everything that we need for our body to survive and live and breathe. How can we disrespect each other on the concept of race, class, or whatever we use to discriminate ourselves and the people around us? You see, going back to counting, going back to the 206 bones, if each bone represented a generation of my family, 206 bones, 206 generations ago, perhaps Jesus was dying on a cross for the Christian sins. 2,000 years ago, my people were living free, living as we do and as we always had, for thousands of years. Now, why do I place such importance on bones? Going back to my name in English, Charlie Gordon, it's just an anglicized version, or more like it's my true name, but I go by Salikota, which is just an Intituk version of my name. That name belonged to my grandfather. And anyone else who is named after my grandfather, who lives today, I can look at him or her, and if he's named Charlie after my grandfather, then I call him Sonic. Sonic meaning bones. We recognize each other as bones because my grandfather passed away not long before I was born. And he is my grounding point because he's been buried in my community. I can go to his grave and visit my bones. And this goes for a lot of Inuit and their names and their namesakes. For example, my son, he has his original name, Silakki, which means beautiful sky, as I said before, but he also carries the names of my parents and my mother's father. So his full name will be Silakki Mark Yakak Ilisituk Gordon. And though by carrying these names, he carries their spirits, he carries their attributes, and their flaws at the same time. But when we're given our names, it's a way we can call our spirit. That's how the spirit recognizes itself. Because when a new infant is born, and you bestow upon him and call his spirits and his names, the spirits that have been wandering in the land of shadows, they can find a new way to walk amongst their brothers and sisters, their mothers and fathers, and with all their relations and their kin. So they can live again, breathe again, and know what it's like to be on this lovely planet, our Mother Earth. This is why I place importance on bones and recognizing where our ancestors came from, whether they're buried here or lands far away. And I hope with this thought experiment that each and every single one of us realize where we come from, where we stand today, and where we're going moving forward. Because in this so-called state, we can know all the facts, the true history as to what happened, how it brought us here. But it does not determine where we go forward. Like the other speaker said, the people have the power. We cannot let a piece of paper determine where we come from and who we are. And when I speak of this very piece of paper, I'm talking about terra nullius. I'm talking about the confederacy of the state. What we care every day to identify us as Canadians, whether it's a passport, birth certificate, SIM card. It does not determine who we are. It is our actions that determines of who we are. And like I said, these pieces of paper hold no power over us. It is us as people, settler or not, indigenous or not, we decide where we're going. We decide how we're going to live our lives. I would like to thank each and every single one of you that have come here. I would like to thank all the logistics teams, all the organizers, and each and every single one of you that have attended, spoken, conversated, listened, most importantly. I just want to say thank you, and that I'm very thankful and grateful for all that we have. I would like to invite all the speakers that have come today to come in front of the banners so we can have a photo together.
Okay, I just want to say the last thing, just a couple of words. You know what the cross means? That's a symbol of all those children that were killed. That's just a symbol. That's not ours, the cross. That's not for us. I would like to take it out. Okay, is this all the speakers? Oh, come closer. Yeah, okay. We'll look this side, look to the right. We'll look at you guys. And then we'll look on this side. Michael? Okay, we'll look this way, Michael. Thank you. Let's put our hands up. Everybody put their hands up.
Everybody, V.
Yeah, everybody.
Victory, victory, victory.